Santa Fe County officials have been holding a series of public open houses to acquaint the community with the plan to do an overall growth management ordinance. The recently passed oil and gas ordinance would be folded into the bigger one once it's done. They say the end result will be a plan to manage all types of development in the county, not just oil and gas. But while the open house portion of these sessions has been advertised, there has been an unadvertised set of meetings as well. The first of these sessions was in Pewaukee, the second at Santa Fe Community College. KSFR's Marion Cox is with me now. You went to one of these sessions at the community college, and you were the one who found that there was not one, but two sets of sessions underway.
There are two things going on simultaneously. One is an open house, which is currently organized in the food service area here at Santa Fe Community College, and then concurrent with an all-day open house where members of the public can come in and look at maps and talk to county staff. The county and Planning Works are conducting invitation-only stakeholder meetings, and the two that KSFR happened to encounter this morning, one was for affordable housing, and the one we sat in on and listened to was one with developers.
And what happened at those meetings?
Well, the developer meeting started out very mild and very professional. Bruce Peshoff of Planning Works was basically managing the discussion with about 15 developers and about 3 county staff members present. He was going through the process of this growth management planning effort, and he was encouraging the 15 developers present to please tell him candidly what was on their mind, what their concerns were, and what their past experiences with the county.
And did they?
They did. They began, again, responding to the questions with things like, you know, we know you're into growth management. We'd love to see some of these long-range plans address issues like job creation, schools. All we really see are where you want to put open space and where you want there to be a dense residential development, where you want to see retail development. But there are a whole host of things that we think go beyond. Interestingly enough, Bruce Peshoff's response to those kinds of questions is, look, the ONG ordinance development was a cakewalk compared to what we think we have to deal with in growth management. We understand it affects a lot of people's lives, and that's one of the reasons we're here today to talk to you as developers.
The oil and gas ordinance is a part of this overall development ordinance. It just turns out that it got passed first.
That's right. Now they're moving on to basically land use planning. And they held this stakeholders meeting with developers because they've learned, probably the hard way, through the introduction of the interim development ordinance, the moratorium on development, that they can't just shove something through. And in particular, developers have a lot to say on that issue.
So what else happened? Were they complimentary of the county's effort to have these meetings?
You know, the tone of the meeting changed dramatically when Bruce Peshoff said, and tell us how responsive has the county been to your needs as developers in the past. It was a pretty straightforward question. Some of the answers started with, well, you never get a development permit issued in a timely fashion. You're frequently asked to do things at the last minute, and all development permits are iterative, not straightforward. Then all of a sudden, the tone of the meeting changed, and the developers started talking about a culture of fear that they have observed over many years in the county. Fear by staff, fear by developers from the political pressures that everyone is experiencing basically from elected officials.
They're putting pressure on staff and on developers.
That's right. The contention, the allegation by a number of the developers in the room was that over many years, the political pressures that are levied on staff to render recommendations to the council that meet a specific Board of County Commissioners' needs for his constituents, as opposed to simply complying with the regulations, has been intense, and that many development decisions in the county have been made under undue political influence and pressure from Board of County Commission members.
Well, in fact, you spoke with developer Alan Hoffman, who made such a point.
Santa Fe is coming out of a horrible period of the Dark Ages. There was a member of the county commission who believed that it was his right to use manipulation and intimidation to get what he wanted. And in his particular neighborhood, he was very anti-growth. And he basically intimidated county staff into doing what it was that this particular political person wanted. It was a time of the most opportunity, and in spite of this particular individual, the county made tremendous progress. The most progress it made is the creation of the Community College District, which is, in my opinion, proving not only to be very successful, but also it's the only part of Santa Fe County which is really looking into the future. What's the nation and the world going to be like from this point of this deep recession or depression forward?
That was developer Alan Hoffman, who you spoke with, Marion Cox. County commissioners 3 times postponed, and on the 3rd time actually put away forever the idea of this interim county ordinance to stop major development until a new ordinance was written controlling development in the county. How did this happen? How did it come to be that they finally hit it?
Bruce Peshoff of Planning Works candidly admitted to the developers and the stakeholders meeting this morning that the IDO process, the Interim Development Ordinance, which would have proposed a moratorium of sorts on development in the county in the short run, he picked up the phone and called the county's attorney and said, this process through which you've introduced the Interim Development Ordinance is compromising the credibility of the overall growth management ordinance.